Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we're taking a closer look at the Citizen BN0220, a modern reissue of the 1982 Citizen diver that at the time of release was the deepest rated watch in the world with 1300 meters of water resistance. The design was just as wild as the water resistance, and next to the Seiko Tuna, it is one of the most original dive watches you could buy. Since the model wasn't as popular as the Seiko, these vintage pieces are quite rare and fetch high prices when they do appear, which is why I'm very happy with the release of this. This new model shares an almost identical design as the original, and there are three colors available, with this black and gold variant being the closest to the 1982 model. Where this model differs is the water resistance, that is now just 200 meters, and the position of the crown, which was on the opposite side on the original. In all honesty, 200 meters is more than enough, and it has helped in placing this watch in a more affordable category while keeping it slimmer. But I feel Citizen missed an opportunity of bringing back a legend from their past. They should have done what Seiko does and release one with the original 1300 meters and a more premium eco-dry movement for purists, and a modern reinterpretation with specs that this one has. Like this, they kinda diluted the aura and purity of the original, but then again, this means more people will be able to afford one, while the purists will probably hunt down the original anyway. I personally loved the look, as I had a vintage 800 meter model that looked a bit simpler but had that same crazy bezel grip as this. The shape is almost a square thanks to these prongs at each corner that are supposed to protect the bezel from hits and accidental movement. One of you guys pointed out the watch looks like a turtle, and by that I don't mean a Seiko turtle, but an actual animal. And true enough, it becomes clear once you notice that, especially when viewed from the underside with the crown being the head. The bulkiness is even more pronounced due to the smallish dial and this beautiful sandblasted Duratect coated titanium, making the watch look like it was poured out of concrete, while the lack of weight does the exact opposite, making for a weird blend. The Duratect used is MRK kind, which is the second hardest coating Citizen uses, with only Duratect Alpha being stronger. I'll put a graph on the screen so you can see and compare the coatings and materials used by both Seiko and Citizen, which will not only explain why Seiko titanium watches look much worse after years of wear, but also show just how much ahead of Seiko Citizen is when it comes to titanium watches. I really can't wait to see how this thing holds up over time, and we'll probably do an update after a year or two. The bezel insert has a similar grainy finish but is a bit finer than the case, and I love the way they cut the numerals in it. The crystal is mineral, again a missed opportunity, and underneath is one of the most legible dials I have ever seen. Despite a small dial, the oversized markers and hands and excellent lume make this one of the easiest watches to read in any condition, while the almost vertical chapter ring gives a depth that I love so much on Seiko Tunas. The only weird thing about the dial is the finish. For some reason, Citizen went with a grainy finish that sparkles under direct light, making photos of this watch look like there is dust under the crystal. It is not as noticeable in daylight and soft light, but get it under harsh light and it looks dirty even though it isn't. The movement used is an entry-level eco-drive that, in traditional Citizen fashion, has an excellent control of the seconds hand, missing the markers slightly on only one part of the dial, while hitting them almost perfectly everywhere else. It has 9 months of power reserve, and it should serve you problem-free for decades unless you store it in complete darkness for long periods of time. The watch wears surprisingly small for the specs, as it is a 46.5mm watch, but wears more like a 40 thanks to the lugless design, something Seiko Tuna does as well. In other words, no matter how small your wrist is, this will not overhang it, while it has enough wrist presence to look great on large ones as well. The supplied strap is very good, hitting the balance between stiffness and pliability. It is slightly stiffer than the silicone ones used on new Seiko models, but much softer than the plasticky ones used on older Citizen and Seiko. I personally like it more than Seiko ones, as I find those too mushy and stretchy. I also love the fact it is not overly long, so it doesn't look ridiculous on my small wrist, unlike Seiko. While wetsuit extension is solved by providing an additional piece of strap that attaches to the buckle, increasing the length to the desired size. In my opinion, a great solution, as 98% of people will wear this daily, and if you're one of those 2% that will actually dive with it, you're covered when diving and still have a normal looking strap when you don't. With this RetroZilla, as one YouTuber called it, I think Citizen hit a jackpot, and although I think they could have released a premium all-original reissue, this one will bring the history of Citizen divers to more people, as Citizen, despite having some epic vintage divers, is nowhere nearly as popular as Seiko when it comes to divers' history. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.